What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Cult Classic Podcast. Cameron Jones here, along with my co-host,
Mark Nussle.
Jordan Jones.
Keeping it in the 90s per usual. One we've been talking about, kind of teasing and leading up, though. We're doing the 1997 film, Men in Black. They are the best kept secret in the universe. Working for a highly funded yet unofficial government agency, K&J are the Men in Black, providers of immigration services and regulators of all things alien on Earth. While investigating a series of unregistered close encounters, the MIB agents uncover the deadly plot of an intergalactic terrorist who is on the mission to assassinate two ambassadors from opposing galaxies currently residing in New York City. New to the job, Rookie J is forced to learn quick from his veteran partner K, as well as some out-of-this-world characters. Will K and J be able to save the planet from an alien cockroach, or will the crazed alien assassin prove too much for the new duo, Men in Black?
This movie is directed by Barry Sonnenfeld, starring Tommy Lee Jones, Will Smith, Linda Fiorentino, Rip Torn, and Vincent D'Onofrio.
This is just like the height of Will Smith being a cool mother effer and just being funny and charming on screen. And making hit songs.
Tommy Lee Jones in the sweet spot? I think so. I think he is too. These two aren't about to miss for 5 years until Wild Wild West comes out.
Men in Black.
Cast and crew. All right, Men in Black, 1997, directed by Barry Sonnenfeld. He also directed The Addams Family, went on to direct Wild Wild West.
Oh.
I think he did all the MIBs. RV with Robin Williams.
Okay, so like, okay, family movies.
RV's definitely a movie that we would have seen as a family and be like, maybe we shouldn't have done that.
Family.
Yeah, true.
And like 6 episodes of Schmigadoon. You remember that show?
Oh, still on. My family seems to like it a lot.
My family's a big fan of it.
Yeah. There's new seasons with different...
Holy shit.
New seasons, different musical
I think they're in
themes. So you
season
might
3.
be...
They did
you might be-
Chicago.
Oh, that makes sense.
I don't know where that... Yeah. Hit us up for Schmigadoon fans.
Executive producer Steven Spielberg. Didn't realize that.
Yeah, for some reason I thought Spielberg directed it, but I mean, well, you see his name at the beginning, so I guess I just assumed he
Totally
did it.
forget that trickle up QCA. Love the font. Love that fucking font.
Oh, true.
It reminded me of like Nightmare Before Christmas or something.
Oh,
like
yeah.
the Danny Elfman
It's got
music by Danny Elfman.
You feel Danny Elfman right off the bat.
Feel some Tim Burton vibes for some reason. That's why. Yeah. The writers are Lowell Cunningham and Ed Solomon. Lowell Cunningham was the one who did the comic. They also worked together on a few other things. Can't remember what.
Did he help adapt the screenplay though too? That's cool.
Yeah, he did.
Nice.
And then
and
Ed
he-
Solomon.
And trickle down unverified, but he actually also has a cameo. He's just one of the nameless, sleeveless MIB agents, like working a computer.
Oh, yeah.
in the back.
Cool. You can toss
I don't
anybody
know.
in there.
I don't know which one he is, but he's in there.
Cool.
And then Ed Solomon, who also co-wrote on this, did Bill and Ted's. They did the 93
The first
Super
one?
Mario's.
The Bogus Adventure.
Excellent Adventure.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Excellent Adventure.
He-
And Bogus.
He-
Good for them. Keep getting jobs, you know. Some movies don't need a sequel, but sometimes you're like, hey, are we going to make this a trilogy? I guess. And today's streaming age.
On to the cast. I'm going to stick with the top sort of stars here, but there are some fun ones to mention. Tommy Lee Jones plays Agent K.
Obviously, we just talked about him recently with Double Jeopardy. Go back and see that. But The Fugitive, Volcano, Two-Face, and Batman Forever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mentioned Small Soldiers. David Cross is also plays a small role in this.
Oh shit! Go back and see our Small
Couple
Soldiers.
Small Soldiers guys in there.
Stay
Will
tuned
Smith.
for Scary Movie 2? I don't know. Maybe someday.
It's in
Will
our
Smith
wheelhouse.
plays Agent J. He punched Chris Rock at the Oscars.
Slapped him. You obviously know who Will Smith is. Fresh Prince, Independence Day, rap career, Miami, getting jiggy with it.
Yeah, up until about, a year ago. Now it's just keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. Will Smith.
You know.
That guy.
I gotta bring my hands up for this one. Laurel is played by Linda Fiorentino.
She's familiar. What do I know her from something else? What is it? Give me her. Give me her.
Surprisingly, it's
She's
just
super familiar. It's
just-
Dogma.
She's in Dogma.
she's
That's
the lead
why.
in Dogma. That's it.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for. We're not gonna do.
Also
Maybe
here,
someday.
This is a little older. I mean, not too old. It's After Hours. You guys seen After Hours?
No.
It's not what she's known for.
Yeah, but I don't remember.
And The Last Seduction.
That I don't know.
She is to me a mixture between Trinity from
Okay.
The Matrix
I get that.
with Janine Garofalo.
Oh, I would have said maybe Janine Garofalo.
That's a great.
How about this? Janine Garofalo and Sandra Bullock?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess
Okay, whatever.
definitely a lot of Jean Garofalo.
Edgar, the main cockroach. Is
Wanta!
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Oh no, those sorry. Those are the other fucking things.
I was supposed to say, what the hell was that?
Those are the coffee bros.
I thought that was Jordan
Oh.
trying to say sugar water. I'm like, God, he's bad at impressions.
Won't you give it? He asked me for.
I don't know him. He plays a great villain in this, but I don't know.
I did not
him
recognize him from
much
anything else.
He's in a comedy I know him in, but it's not ringing a bell. Possibly TV stuff. He definitely has a familiar face. Write in if you know. Sorry, we dropped the ball on that one.
Zed, sort of the head of the MIB operation, at least in NYC, is Rip Torn. I think Rip is his nickname. I think he goes by. He has a real name.
What is he most known for? I mean, he has.
If
a
you can dodge a
distinctive
wrench,
face
you
and
can
voice.
dodge a ball.
Well, I mean,
Patches
dodgeball,
O'Houlihan.
He's
but like,
O'Houlihan.
but I mean, he's an older actor. What's his like big?
He's a character
voice, you know,
actor.
the voice that you recognize, it's Zeus from Hercules.
That's
Yeah, he
true.
is in
Zeus from
Hercules.
Hercules as a child is big for me.
I'm Scott. I thought I'd know more, and he's in a bunch of shit. I think he passed away a handful of years
I
ago.
think
But,
recently, yeah.
Freddie got fingered. Cameron, that's yours. For a lot of people, he's in the Larry Sanders Show, but I've honestly, full disclosure, never seen one episode of the Larry
I've
Sanders
seen
Show.
episodes, but not a lot of it.
So he's around, but we all know most from this and Dodgeball.
Tony Shalhoub plays Jeeves.
Nice little cameo. I'm pretty sure he comes back in some of the other ones too.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, he's just
Can't put
get a
Shaloub
toe in the
corner.
door, and then that motherfucker's wide open. He still scenes. He still scenes in everything he's in. Go back to Wings. Check him out in Monk. I'm sure you guys are big fans of Monk. As recently, you just finished up the series Marvelous Miss Maisel. You know, he's around. He's not going anywhere. as
For
long
our
as-
age group, Spy Kids, you know.
Oh yeah.
And I'm sure a million other things that he just pops in and on.
Now we're kind of getting on to some of the smaller, sort of fun little tidbits.
Mm-hmm.
The van driver who's taking the illegal aliens across the border is John Grease. He's Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh.
We don't have to touch on these
It's
two.
odd that he looked
Sergio-
familiar, but I would have never.
Yeah.
Sergio Calderon, Jose, the main guy who Agent K pulls down, and he's the first alien we see.
Mm-hmm.
He is Captain Villanueva in one of the Pirates movies.
Nothing.
The world's the
Not gonna lie.
World's End.
After 2, I get a little hazy on those.
just fun that he's in something else sort of larger.
Big.
The tall guy that the old guy
He's
meets
he's familiar. He's like an actor with
he's Lurch
giantism
from
that-
like the 90s
Yeah.
Adams Family.
Oh, yeah.
Had to be somebody.
That makes
Yep.
sense.
The baseball player is Bernard Gilkey, left fielder for the Cardinals.
Ah.
Nice cameo.
Actual baseball player. Vern Troyer's in this. Didn't know that. Alien Son, credited as Alien Son.
Like the voice of the sun? Like the little baby
And
squid thing?
I think no, unless he's just in there.
Huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, there's really a small cast. I just want to touch on those kind of silly.
Yeah, tight cast and for the most part big names. So with that, let's move it on to Unverified. Welcome to the Cult Classic Movie Phone. It's July 2nd, 1997, and currently in theaters you could have seen. Also, heads up, we have done this month before, recently, so this is going to be a little familiar. Airbud. Spawn. Air Force One.
We haven't done Air
Get
Force
off
One, have we?
Adeline.
We have not done that
No.
yet.
Get off of my Adeline.
Adeline.
Good Burger. Cafe Society. George of the Jungle. go back and see our George of the Jungle. That's why.
Go back and listen to that. Yeah.
There it is.
Contact.
Stay tuned for Cameron's solo episode on Contact.
I think we should do
We
it.
should almost just do this month. Like, just run the
Just do
gamut
the
on
whole
this
month.
month.
Not bad.
Wild America. But you chose MIB. Wild America is some like Lawrence Brother movie or something, so I thought people might know that. Or actually, it's a Jonathan Taylor Thomas. My apologies.
Budget was $90 million. Box office, cool $589 million.
Oh,
Which makes sense. It was a smash.
yeah, it was a big hit. I mean, enough that they're still popping them out today.
Walking
Yeah,
into
they're
the
like,
cinema
hey, we
this
can't
month,
get these two, but we can still make them. Like, if you want, yeah, sure.
just walking into the cinema this month, there would have been a very indecisive Mark about where to go. I mean, you got
he would have
Cut to Mark
George.
Cut to Mark shaking his head. Cafe Society. What was I thinking?
Nah.
Yeah.
You saw him in line buying his ticket. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, we all know where he went.
Like, tapping along with it.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
We did mention this is based on a source material comic book series by Lowell Cunningham. Just something kind of interesting about it, though. The Men in Black series in the comics is a lot darker than obviously this film adaptation. But in the comic, MIB surveys not just aliens, but all paranormal activity, and they also have any means necessary, including elimination, to keep the secret. So it's a little darker in the actual comic.
Grim grinning ghosts come out to
And I have been trying.
You know, they're making another Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
You see a preview for this?
Yeah,
Just coming
it's
out.
just a bunch more comedians. You know, I have been trying to get into a comic book though, and maybe I should just pick one of these major blockbuster movies that are based on the source material. If it's good
Hand
enough,
up. I kind of wanted to too. I was never a comic book kid. Kind of always wanted to be.
I'm not sure if I'm exactly a superhero type, but like maybe just like more of this.
Maybe that's why.
See, but maybe more of like this movie-esque graphic novel.
I know
type.
this is a little apples to oranges, but if I'm going to read dialogue / and see action, I rather get into foreign films.
Okay.
Seems like a similar thing to me. And just read regular books.
They're just books with Mercer Mayer you're talking about. Just
From A Apple to
Berenstein
ZZ
Bear.
Brown.
Most of it.
Will Smith didn't believe it was really Steven Spielberg on the other end of the line when the executive producer first called to talk to him.
Hold up though, Independence Day that came out in '96. Yeah, so like he's done.
Go back and listen to our Independence Day. It's a while ago on the podcast. I'm sure it's as tight as it is
What's he
now.
got going on before this?
I mean, Fresh Prince and a whole rap career. I mean, he's well known and an icon already. So like, is it that crazy? He was obviously a hit in Independence Day.
Maybe he's like not twice.
Well, that could be.
I mean, it's a double. I mean, it's just a couple of years or 1 year before, right? I mean, he really popped in these two movies.
You might be wondering, how did Vincent D'Onofrio, I don't like that.
Hard name to say.
Yeah. You might be wondering, how did Edgar get his iconic roach walk? Vincent said that he watched a lot of bug documentaries. And then more importantly, he wore a knee brace on one knee and then he wrapped his ankles so he couldn't bend any of his limbs.
Cool.
Yep. And that got him his roach walk.
That worked. Oh, I'm actually reading here. It was a Marvel comic.
Yeah, it's
And
actually
then Marvel bought Malibu Comics sometime in the late 90s or maybe even early 2000s.
It seemed like an acquisition. Like this was an independent something.
Yeah.
And Marvel's like, we'll take that.
Yeah, I think they did.
That's
I
what
think
they
they
did.
bought it out. Did you guys ever do a pause to see who all the aliens are on the screen during the one scene when he's like,
oh yeah,
my
read
teacher?
this off. This is because I couldn't. I definitely saw like Sylvester Stallone.
We have Al Roker. Danny DeVito is on the screen.
I didn't see him.
Barry Sonnenfeld, the director's in there. His daughter's also in there for fun. Chloe Sonnenfeld. Sylvester Stallone, Diane Warwick, Newt Gingrich, Anthony Robbins, George Lucas, and Steven
Newt
Spielberg
Gingrich.
were all on the screen.
Oh, I think we all just saw Michael Jackson, though, right?
Oh yeah, and well, no, that's the second one, right?
Is Michael Jackson on there?
I don't think he is.
Oh, yeah.
That's the second one when they
No.
made.
That's the second one?
Yeah,
Okay, my bad.
Stallone.
In the second one, he's an agent and he picks up a phone call. He's like, "When am I going to get my glasses?" or something like that.
All right, my
Oh.
bad.
Speaking of which,
Speaking of the glasses,
yeah, you got this.
Yeah, the sunglasses used by the characters are the Ray-Ban Predator 2s. And after the film's release, Ray-Ban reported that sales of these glasses tripled from 1.6 million to 5 million.
Pretty
Not
good.
the first time Ray-Bans hit with a movie. Obviously, go back and listen to our Top Gun.
True.
Fucking
And-
skyrocketing.
and
I wonder how
also-
people like that doesn't have the signature like Ray-Ban on them. I mean, they probably whatever.
They probably took it off for the
Took it
movie
off,
or
but like I
whatever.
wonder how
They figured it out.
they figured it out.
Closest thing on the market.
How do you
People just
sleuth in the 90s?
missed opportunity not to tee this up with Predator 2, Predators, or whatever it is. It might just be Predator 2. You might be happy to know the American Humane Society made sure no animals were hurt during the filming of this. When you see Will Smith crushing the roaches, those are mustard packets. You never see anything under his foot. It's always just like an aerial of it coming down.
and it is very yellow.
Yeah, it's very gooey and yellow.
It's very mustardy color.
Seems pretty honey
I can't
mustardy.
believe that not one cockroach got killed.
Here's how they know, Jordan. At the end of the day, they had to count all the cockroaches to make sure none were missing or dead.
Or
that guy didn't
they
get
found
paid
more
enough.
cockroaches.
You couldn't pay me to count 250 cockroaches at the end of the day. Well, at the beginning, and maybe even at lunchtime.
Mark, it's your only
Yeah, because at lunchtime you're going to have to find out how many more
What
cockroaches
do you use?
you're gonna have to
You
buy.
probably use chopsticks, right? Bucket to bucket.
Mark, this is your only job. You are the handler. This is what you do.
Roach guy.
I'm coming.
Do you want to hear a funny one off the novelization?
Yeah.
In the comic, James is right to shoot the little girl Tiffany, the cardboard cutout, because she is the only dangerous alien disguise, while the other ones are completely harmless.
Ooh,
that-
is she an alien?
Yes, that's a funny kind of just wink to the actual comic book that he.
Oh, nice.
He was right in the comic book.
This is more of a comic question, but I like that scene. Just like how it's very Will Smith. Like
A lot of
scooting
good
the table
scenes. They
over.
just let them. They let them cook.
Let 'em
all of
play.
them. Yeah,
let him cut.
that's all I want to talk about. I got no questions. Just compliments.
Well, actually, funny enough on that, though, Tommy Lee Jones was frustrated at the beginning of filming that he just had to be the straight man, and he did want to play it up. But the director did have to say, you got to be the straight man.
I think we're good.
it
I
makes-
think we made the
it
right
makes it.
choice.
Yeah.
He does have that one funny line where he's like, lemonade? Yes, please.
Well, I mean, it's more like Gift of Gabby types. Like he's still funny in like a quick, witty way, but he's a straight face
Yeah,
guy.
he has
Yeah.
jokes in it. It's just, he's not over the top, which is nice.
It's like the ultimate straight man, though.
Linda Fiorentino apparently won her role in this movie in a poker game with Barry Sonnenfeld.
Really?
That's a hell of a win.
Yeah, and I did see some what ifs, and it seems like there were some people that maybe could have got this, so I wonder how legit that is.
Barry's got a gambling problem.
Apparently. Toned it down, Barry.
I have one about the slime. Tommy Lee Jones didn't mind it, and Will Smith absolutely hated it.
Yeah, because Tommy Lee Jones is a professional.
Tommy Lee Jones likes to be covered in
Goo.
goo. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Goo.
Do you want to
Gooey
hear,
movie.
do you want to hear something kind of crazy? But I mean, it makes sense. This is the highest grossing action buddy This is the highest grossing action buddy comedy in U.S. box office. There's
The genre is all but sort of gone, unfortunately.
somewhat. Yeah, I mean, it's
Name
all
the
just
genre.
turned
Name the official
action buddy comedy. Your Shanghai Nights, your
I
Rush
thought you might have
Hour.
stuck like a sci-fi in there.
Nah, but
which
like,
would make it just even more.
I mean,
of a
to
category.
Jordan's point, that does kind of make sense just because they don't exactly make this kind of movie anymore. Even though aren't
It's
they?
because you can't be throwing $90 million at this type of movie, unfortunately.
But they
which I wish
do.
they
It's
did.
just like super. They kind of do. It's just going to streaming services, though.
Like the nice
It
guys.
is. It's been replaced. Yeah, they've done them, but it feels like it's been a while. It seems like it's been all but replaced by The Rock and Kevin Hart for now. I
Those
suppose.
I mean, that
for
is.
sure.
Yeah, that is kind of what we're
I
getting.
mean, they
with it
still
now.
exist. You're right.
Those are.
It's just in
we're
the
getting
theater,
more
it feels
action
like they're
adventure buddy comedies. Is kind of what it's turned into.
That's true.
Instead of cop.
Well, it's weird. The buddy comedy movies almost trickled into just these are what comedies are now. These are the only comedies we get. I was gonna tell you how high the Men in Black song that Will Smith made topped on the Billboard.
Please do.
It didn't because they didn't release it as a commercial single, so we don't know. But I assume, yeah, isn't that a bitch?
I mean, I remember that song on TRL for a long time. Every day after school.
Ugh, man, I can't get you TRL facts just off the cuff, so you're gonna have to. I'll maybe trickle that in somewhere else later on in the podcast.
Is there a
Don't
soundtrack?
have
What else is on the soundtrack?
very. I
Weird
feel
pop
like
songs that you didn't know were in the end credits.
but like there's probably I think there's like 2 more Will Smith songs. Like it's not just I don't know. Anyway, check out the soundtrack.
We had it. Honestly, we had it. Our mom used it for things because she was dancing.
I know. I wasn't ready to field questions based on my unverified.
I get it. This movie did actually have a ton of facts. We just had to kind of give up at some point. So if you have anything super interesting, make sure to write into us or hit us up on social media. We'd love to know. But we're going to move on to questions.
Comments.
Animosities.
Questions, comments,
QCA, I have to start at the very beginning of the movie because we did mention the credits. Those are kind of cool, nostalgic, but that bug splatter has stuck with me. It's visceral. The imagery is just still with me.
Oh,
I had a bug splatter about that big 2 days ago.
We're really just any of the bug splatters in this movie, but specifically, the one in the beginning.
Any of the bugs and the cockroaches for sure definitely leave like a. When I think someone's got roaches or like a restaurant has roach, you've got Men in Black.
That syndrome.
Also,
it's a gooey movie. We said it before, but man, it's not quite Nickelodeon level of goo, but it's not Nickelodeon level of goo.
It's pretty bright.
The first one
blue.
is definitely Nickelodeon level goo.
Oh yeah,
that one's big.
I
love the opening scene.
Well, also of the opening scene, I did not get as a kid what the whole like alien trafficking thing was going on there.
Missed that.
Yeah,
completely missed it.
Flew over my head. I don't exactly know when it dawned on me, but
I don't remember.
100% got that.
Yeah,
I was a little older.
Did you?
Yeah, it's just a little older though than you guys.
Okay. Yeah. I don't remember that either.
You know what I don't get about it? As long as we're just quickly on there. Why, as an alien, would you try to come over as an illegal alien?
Yeah,
why would that, like an immigrant, why would you do that? That would just seems like an unnecessary step.
No, I see what you're saying.
You have technology, just fly over the border and land somewhere else.
And I don't want to go too much on the scene.
Slug can fly?
He got here somehow.
Dropped.
Well, if anything else, he's like super fast and can jump. Like it seems like he could just sprint across.
Just hop over, and then disguise yourself.
I guess you're right.
Here.
He was pretty freaking fast.
Yeah.
Or hear me out. Just stay in Mexico. It seems like there's less MIB there. It seems like they're all in New York.
There's maybe no MIB. It's called the cartel. Yeah.
Well, I think
true.
Isn't the new one like the international MIB or something? I haven't seen it, so I don't know these answers.
Nobody's seen it, so don't ask me. I don't know yet.
Also, just kind of question. We're sticking to the beginning here a bit, but why does that?
Maybe we'll never leave it.
Why does that alien Mikey go for the trooper? It seems like he has a relationship with Kay and the other guy, and everything's pretty chill. And then he just sees that guy, and he's like,
chill.
"I'm gonna murder him. I'm gonna pretty much murder him."
Seems like he was about to get, if anything, a slap on the wrist. A boys will be boys type situation. Then it's like, nope. Oh, but I'm glad you asked. You know what happened to Mikey right after that? He got shot to death and exploded everywhere.
Yeah,
that's the end of Mikey.
Things move quick in the MIB.
This is maybe a lot, but I'm thinking about this movie. Overlying question about the MIBs, it's okay to murder, right?
Definitely in the comic, but yeah.
They murder a lot of things in this movie.
Not a lot of humans.
No, I mean a lot of aliens. So the MIBs are like, listen, if we can't take you in,
a lot of conscious, sentient, humanoid beings. Yeah, we murder. But we were fighting for the survival of the planet. A little justification.
Not with Mikey.
You guys bug killers. No. You guys step on spiders and.
Inside the house, outside the house, that's where they live.
You try to bring them out.
When I can.
Yeah, when I can.
Yeah,
but if the spider looks dangerous to me, it has to go.
I think I've
got a weird rule.
If it looks dangerous.
You got to put it down.
We're gonna put it down.
If it's just like a housefly, they have such a short lifespan. No, if I try to kill you once and I don't, you just live with me until you die.
You're here.
You earned it. Like, who am I here to take your life? But if it's anything that can bite or sting me, I'm sorry. That's just
can't have that. So
can't have that.
Just a comment. Unless that perp at the beginning that Will Smith is chasing murdered my entire family. I'm not going, one, to just such lengths, but let alone jumping off a bridge, not exactly knowing a bus is going to be there, shooting in a window. Like, it seems like instead of being recruited into MIB.
If that's your first time doing that, that's crazy, to jump off a bridge onto a double-decker bus.
I mean, how many times do you do? I mean, yeah, it has to be his first time, right?
He seemed confident is what I'm saying. I can't believe that.
But just insane motivation to get this guy. Like, what did he do?
We're under the belief that Will Smith saw him selling something. I don't even know what happened. There's no explanation, right? I didn't miss it.
Yeah, it seems like Will Smith's going to be the kind of cop that uses excessive force and pew 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 shoots a lot of aliens.
Yeah, but in 1997, NYPD did stand for "I will knock your punk ass down," and that worked. I was fine with that. Now it's like, no, that's bad. That's bad stuff, guys. Bad guys.
Along the same lines, after he scaled whatever the first bad guy in green that Will Smith is chasing, after he scales this building, why is he all of a sudden like, oh shit, I'm stuck on the roof?
Well, 100%.
Jump
down.
And
down. And from Will Smith's point of view, I see that Exorcist shit. Okay, I'm done. This is clearly weird. And also just a little bit of an animosity, but the way that gun dissolves like an 80s magic thing.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't make any sense
Make
either.
it disintegrate or something, but it just like flares and then literally vanishes. It looks too stupid. It's too.
You know what's fun about not only guns in this, but it seems like a lot of
alien-y movies.
Sci-fi alien movies, it's either explode everything or just stun.
You know,
It's one or the other. Same gun though. Same gun can do both things.
To Mark's favorite word, plasma. You got a lot of laser things cutting through people. You got that? You got
there
3.
Is some plasma
You got
stuff.
3 things.
I do like the weaponry in this, though. The way it looked as a kid, I'm like they're bringing out big ones, like small ones, some that dissolve. I did like that as a kid.
I agree. I didn't read the comic books, and I'm not going back to them. Cameron, sounds like you're going to give it a go sometime.
I might. Maybe one of these movies.
I do like the aesthetic. I don't know what they were pulling from. Obviously, the suits kind of give me Twilight Zone-y feels, like the 60s aesthetic of it. I really enjoyed it.
I do have a trickle down from that.
Brothers.
They were specifically going for like a 60s vibe, and most importantly, in the MIB headquarters, I forget what, but it was a specific 1960s airport that they were kind of trying to take
it
stuff from.
holds up. Obviously, there's some CGI, some blue screen happening, but all in all, it holds up, and I liked it. I still do.
There's a lot of puppetry though. That helps it. And like you said, the CGI you see is kind of a nostalgic 90s thing. It's not so bad it takes you out of it. It's still pretty.
No,
it
brings me back into it, to a time and a place where I was seeing this movie and Mark was seeing George of the Jungle on the same weekend
with Rolos or Milk Duds, one of the two.
I do love Milk Duds.
It doesn't. Sorry, I still wanted to touch on the CGI. It doesn't take itself. It's obviously like trying to be a little bit of a spoofy situation with like Will Smith and the tentacle being thrown around and like smacked on the car.
It's a tiny bit cartoony still. And
what's nice is it gets to be because it's like a PG-13 family movie. Like it's a movie for all ages. It doesn't have to hit hard like I guess a dramatic movie would with the same thing.
Yep,
and it hits harder than a kids movie would.
True.
Right.
True. It's a little edgier.
I have one animosity. I don't know how far we want to go, but trickle down comment. I'd love to see. I don't know what agent retired before K got J. I'd like to see a couple episodes with those guys. Stream me some of that. I bet they got into some shenanigans.
We're still popping out movies. We can make that a streaming prequel on Netflix.
I don't want to be mean, but I assume agent retiree in real life has passed away.
Yeah, he was pretty old looking in 1997, so yeah. I would assume so.
Recasting for him, anybody's high school history teacher. I'm sure you had one of them that looked just like him.
Einstein came to mind. Comment animosity. Edgar Air is a little too cocky walking up to his truck in half and a mysterious voice coming from the ground.
He's fed up.
He's
stupid,
dumb farmer.
But he's stupid, but like you got to assume like you hear a robot-y voice coming from your disintegrated truck. You can't fight that probably.
I definitely wouldn't say you can take my gun from my cold dead hands. I'd be like, I'd leave. You'd leave, right?
In fact, I don't even know if it says anything threatening other than lower your weapon.
I understand going out to check out the situation, but then once something talks to you, you're done.
Oh.
Yeah, you go back inside.
I wouldn't say you deserve to become a skin suit, but you kind of...
It didn't seem like he was a great husband.
Did you just rant the whole time, like while it was like the UFO was about to crash? Like
my goddamn truck!
Yeah, it's all he's got. It's all he's got is that truck. He's going out there to check on it.
Oh, I do want to say, though, the actress, Saboyne Falian something, his wife, she slaps. She kills.
She's hilarious in it.
And she does it in Fool's Rush In as well. Go back and...
Yeah, good character actor in the 90s doing kind of a drunk, aloof friend.
Whatever her shtick is, it works for me.
It rocks.
I do want to point out some shticks in the movie. Like,
sure.
There's so many that are good. I may have ruined your flow a little bit. But anytime Will Smith gets to neuralize people... I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll get to shticks later. Cameron, what were you going to say?
Question, how does that giant roach fit inside Edgar? We clearly see at the end that it's huge, but like magic again, just 80s magic
There
stuff?
is a little bit of space magic.
I got a bigger problem.
It seems.
How the fuck's he fit into a spaceship? You see Edgar wheel it.
Yeah, I thought that too. There's not a chance.
I had to double check. I was taken aback by how small that UFO was.
Edgar, the average size man at 6 foot, was taller than it. Yeah. And that cockroach was, 12, 14 to 20 feet? I just don't see where the space...
That's worse than trying to go see the Titanic in that little submarine.
Oh,
I will.
just-
Whoa, I will say this. I guess if he can fit in Edgar, then he can definitely fit in that ship. I guess he can just.
That's true.
Can cockroaches? Do they flatten?
They can flatten.
They can squish.
They sure don't. They sure don't change shape. It's not a squid. Question to you guys: what are the chances you show up to a business meeting you don't remember scheduling based off a card, and you being a little hazy
Did
from
I get fucking roofied last night? What the fuck?
yeah,
is this?
I'm gonna. My
Who's
main
it?
thing's gonna be
Mib.
like, I think that old man did something to me at that bar.
Yeah, but you just
that
gotta
tiki bar.
not overthink it. You're like, well,
I
Don't
exactly.
overthink
So I definitely don't want to go back and meet up with this
It
guy
doesn't say a
again.
time on it, right? It just says the address. Like if you wake up,
He might.
you're still going to
He might
contemplate.
tell him it's.
He does,
He
but
might tell him a time when he leaves.
when he
but-
leaves, yeah, that's probably right.
But he just got flash. He's a little groggy.
can we talk a bit about then MIB headquarters? Listen, if there's a job to have, sitting in the front there,
dude.
not a bad gig.
I had that question. How do you get how do you get moved up into clerical work? Is that like government, like just other translators?
I'd
and
want a
desk people
comfier
that just-
chair.
Yeah, the chair's not great.
He's kind of
I
slouched. I
definitely-
don't know if he's reading the funny papers or what he's doing there.
Do you think that guy? Do you think that guy knows what's going on down the elevator?
Yeah.
Or
he knows.
is he just a guy working like I get $12 an hour?
Yeah,
I have to hope he knows.
I wear
don't
this
think he
suit. I get
knows.
this cool suit. I get some Ray-Bans.
all he has to say is elevator.
Elevator. Not a bad job.
Or wrong building.
Yeah.
He has two things to say.
There's not really.
That's true.
I mean, it seems like you could break in there fairly easily.
Yeah, you just jog and hit the button. Sure, it's sci-fi. They probably have something to stop
Yeah.
me, but maybe that guy knows kung fu. I don't know. Maybe he's very.
Yeah, that could be.
Before, I guess. Okay, so in these scenes, I now that we've got Jay, he's decided I'm gonna go take the card. I'm gonna go to MIB headquarters. I absolutely love the test scene.
Oh, that's
that fucking
that whole
is so. It's
that whole
so
scene thing
funny.
is. It's hilarious.
I don't know what script or not, but everything about it is funny.
the bench, the paper,
paper, the
guns.
pencil.
The amount of time they go on with that bit is the perfect amount of time because you're like,
Yeah.
you think they're gonna stop, and then all of a sudden, like, papers are falling on their heads. They're trying to write inside the egg, and then even
those B characters are
drag
funny.
of the table with Will Smith's kind of like ass just like wiggling back and forth.
It's so fucking funny. And then to like piggyback off that, boom, we're in the gunfire range scene, and that obviously is maybe about as funny as it comes too. I don't know if it was scripted or the ran. It sounds like it came from the comic book, but goddamn, that was funny too.
Question to you guys: could you sever all ties for a dream of yours? None of us are, hero, super galactic cop.
Well,
but
let me rephrase that. I don't know that was
Yes.
a dream of his. I would not do it.
I don't think it was. It doesn't seem like he was trying to be the best of the best of the best. You know what I mean?
No,
He
or
was
just trying to be a cop that gets to rough people up.
Yeah, he seemed like he just wanted to chase down a perp and really beat the shit out of him.
I assume if you had no family or no friends, I still wouldn't want to do it because I'd be like, I could probably get some friends and family.
Especially when you find out that it's like a 36-hour day thing.
It's
yeah,
rough.
That's going to be rough.
It's odd. Jay is talking to Will. Well, Kay is talking to Will Smith before he becomes Jay, and he's like, "Is it worth it?" He's like, "Oh yeah,
It's worth it.
If you're
you're
strong,
strong
enough,
enough."
you're like, "Oh, that's the wrong answer."
Oh, what?
Yeah, that's not
That's
what
a
you're
hard
thinking.
pass. It sounds like Kay got tricked when he was like 19, right? That's pretty
Yeah.
much what happened to him.
He just drove into the wrong place at the wrong time, and now he's the best we have.
Read a pamphlet, got recruited.
God, him and his previous partner, that was an old duo.
Oh yeah, they've been around since the
Way
beginning.
old.
And it doesn't seem like there's a lot of other active field agents out
A
there.
lot of
I mean, there's the
agents, though. A lot of people in there.
A lot of desk people, and we definitely have some cleanup crews that can get there on the double, but not so
There's
much.
Cleanup
also
crew is stunningly
and Bob,
fast.
though, right?
They come quick.
You gotta imagine if they're not teleportation, those cleaning crews are like every, few towns away. They just have to have a few. I guess this is mostly in New York, but
Everything we see, maybe it's because our characters are based in New York. There's a New Mexico or Arizona or something in the Southwest, and then we're done with that. No more of that. We're done.
That's crazy. They
Must have really wanted that alien.
had to talk to Mike.
I had to talk to Mikey. Oh, one more thing. Will Smith accepts being an MIB. Love putting the suit on, love all that. Got a real big problem with that floating ball that bounces everywhere.
sure.
And you guys got to house that completely
House
by
it. You
itself.
got to at least put it in a
Yeah,
What are we
container.
doing here?
Airtight.
That's a little on them. That's a
That's
little
a
bit
huge
on them.
animosity. Or if it could cause that problem, let's give a warning. Let's give a verbal warning. That, hey, don't touch that. That thing causes all kinds of problems.
Speaking of technology, this is kind of funny, but just jumping forward. But the fact that Tommy Lee Jones still has a 8-track player in the car, I don't know. And the fact that he's like, oh, this is going to replace the CD. So, like, clearly he hasn't even gone to that form yet. Yeah. Just animosity. There's no training for this at all. Like, I know you kind of just got to get thrown into it maybe, but like, should they also maybe have a training course of different aliens, our relationship with some people, like customs as not to create problems, Also, if we're calling out the MIB organization, it seems like since we know that Kay's probably going to retire soon, let's get 2 new hires. Let's bring them both in right now. Let's do a group of 3 here. Yeah, this is jumping to the end, but for sure, just taking that the mortician Laurel, who's just kind of in on it now. She has no dick. She's starting tomorrow. We have a rookie and then a brand new fresh meat in there. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's no
if
one else
she
that
could
works
run
for this
down
company.
an alien, but she definitely seems like she doesn't have any family or friends. That's not a bad get. She seems alone. At least that's what they tell us. So that's good. You got to get those alone people.
I guess that's kind of what they're looking for. So, 10 years from now, cell phones are going to make the MIB job real hard.
They got neuralizers and shit. It seems like all you got to do is corral everybody.
Yeah, I guess they'll just wipe all those photos from people in one mass little button hit is what you're telling me?
Yeah, they do something. Okay. Love the neuralizer. That thing's fucking... It's neuralizer, right? Am I saying that right?
I believe so.
It's not a nebulizer? Whatever. Love that thing.
I think it's the neuralizer.
Good thing. How often, though, do you think you are... When you're getting used to it, just flashing your partner
constantly.
Yeah, if I'm waking up naked, I'm like, tick, 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 tick.
I'm waking up naked in a cornfield, being like, shit.
Oh, god damn it! I got neuralized it, and I wink. No, you got a drinking problem.
Funny comment. My dog Luca did not like Frank the dog talking at all. It creeped him out. He was barking at the screen, but when he got shaken, he barked even harder. He did not like that the dog was being tossed.
He's annoying, but leave him be.
That looks like a real dog, so the Humane Society should maybe check into less about the cockroaches.
They said no cockroaches were harmed.
Yeah, but they didn't say they shook the shit out of that dog and didn't kill it.
I don't want to disagree with Luca, but I love Frank. Great character. Love him to death.
He was very off-put by a creature talking, one of his guys.
Oh, that's good. I've got a question about the prince or whatever and that whole scene once we get to the morgue, right?
Sure.
Why is he dying?
I have the same. Why does I literally have?
It is his ship, and I understand it's like crashing, right? But like, why didn't he get out of there? He obviously could open up the face. Like, what killed him?
Is he leeching?
So I was thinking about this. So the thing stabs them both in the neck. Let's say that's their power source or the core for their robot. So maybe oxygen wasn't coming in.
Yeah.
The door, much like
an oxygen thing, Jordan. Never thought about that, did you?
I understand the ship's going down and you're going to have problems, right? He's trapped, but like, why didn't he get out?
Maybe
he seemed like fine.
Jordan,
he's a prince.
Jordan, once again,
that's true. That's true.
Once again, the power's down. It's only accessible, much like the Titan from the outside. He has to touch that little ear thing.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I guess he just couldn't get out. He's just trapped in there.
Yeah, but I don't get that at all. I have no idea why he died.
It confused me as a kid. It confuses me now. I mean, it's good that he hung on for what must have been 14 more hours.
Yeah, just chilling in that
You
thing.
little bastard.
That must have been miserable.
Not figuring a goddamn thing out. Just dying.
If you've been on Twitter enough, that is definitely like a meme format. Like when he's like squinting and like dying, it's like
I've seen that.
There's a bunch, but you can do anything with it. Like when you don't have water by your bedside at like 4 a.m., you just like wake up.
Also, pretty big animosity with that. It would take just as much time and words to say,
"Cat, the collar.
The galaxy is on my cat's collar," instead of saying the galaxy is on Orion's belt. Orion, like, well,
Orion. Ours are hard to say.
I guess in his defense, though, or in defense of what happened, he's royalty and they're dipshits. So he probably just
on to that point. When he's trying to say. He does say, "What is word?" So I guess maybe he just has a limited vocabulary. Why would he have a limited vocabulary? He's like talking normal English out and about when he's like just in pretend suit.
But to be clear, he's just been a jeweler for however long he's been here.
What he loved.
Yeah, just
in this skin suit of man.
Just what he loved.
Yeah.
Counting.
Or, dark side of it, we don't know that these people aren't, like, maybe he's been here a week. He skinned that old man, took over his diamond business, and now he's ready to go.
Sure, I don't know. They found a real inconspicuous second guy to hang out with, though, didn't they?
the tall giant.
The lurch? Yeah, that guy fucking sticks out everywhere.
They could have tried a little harder with him, maybe.
I am curious, though, what to see the inside of his alien would look like. Would he be... I mean, full disclosure, this prince is a cute little thing. He's a cute little guy.
He's adorable.
He's an adorable little guy.
Even as he's dying, you can tell that he's just
as he's dying. You just
I
pinch his
assume it's
cheeks.
under the rules of don't get him wet, though, right?
Yeah, don't feed him
Can't
after
get that guy
midnight.
wet,
Yeah,
right?
that's exactly
that or the
right.
exact opposite. Keep him wet. Keep him wet and fed.
Got to keep him wet. Anyway, he died. How many? We get to the morgue, and the mortician obviously feels in there. Didn't a lot of other people touch that body up and should have known something was wrong?
Oh, I've said this before. Just every mortician should, in at least New York, probably should just work for MIB. There's a lot of weird stuff coming in there. It seems like they should have someone there at all times.
Oh yeah, just toss him. I mean, there's probably a lot of morgues though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I am confused, and I'm sure it's in the
1976, we signed a treaty with them where we were going to be a place that they could stay peacefully.
No, they seem to be
I know,
totally fine with aliens doing it by the book, but if you cross the MIB, we are going to explode you.
Not even the guy who's like skipping town with his pregnant wife. They're just like, "What are you doing out here?" They don't actually seem to care too much until you try to kill
Cameron.
Jordan. Until
they were
you try
two
to
questions away from shooting up that family. That baby saved everybody.
Sure, but I think as long as you're not actively trying to kill a state trooper, you're fine, or you'd explode the world.
Yeah, explode the
No,
world. That's
'cause-
tough. Can't be doing that.
Can't be doing it. Oh, I have an animosity that I think you'll appreciate, Jordan. This is big on your can't get there in time and just timelines. When they get that alert that when like they're under attack, they have an hour to solve the rest of the movie. And in that time, they leave headquarters, go to Queens, and I get we have the red button at that point.
We have the red button, so that definitely
That's
picks
still
up a
20
lot
minutes.
of time.
Yeah, it's
but
like 15.
I would say the majority of the problem is the end fight scene would have taken 40 minutes.
Yeah, that was not a quick thing in real time. Movie time, sure, but also just another thing to say. Kay held his breath that entire time inside of the cockroach. That's like 5
That's
minutes.
an all time.
That's bigger
Also,
than
shouldn't
Jack
he
and the
get
Titanic.
like broken up by all the.
Muscles and stuff. I don't know.
I would say more just like the alien stomach acid and all that shit. I'm sure he wouldn't just be like,
Yeah.
"Ooh, wiggle, wiggle."
Everything's fine.
And it
I
happens
guess not.
quick, I'd imagine, in something like that.
And
I don't know how to explain this, but one of Will Smith's best acting is like the yell waste time, like, "Oh, who's the man?" Like that. Fucking love it. Miss it. You know. I miss it now that it's just he's using it for bad now. He used to use it for good. Now it's turned to bad.
Jordan, I'm sure you have an answer for this one too. But again, an entire stadium saw a spacecraft and a bunch of people had to see that thing get shot down. How are we wiping all those people? In the second one, we find out the Statue of Liberty wipes all of New York. But we don't know that in this one.
At the time, I don't know. They didn't. It was in the Inquirer, right? You know, it made the papers.
I guess you're right.
A picture, though, I don't know.
I guess there were some leaks. There were some leaks.
I don't know if we're going to do the second or the third one. I think the second one kind of sucks. Third one is where we kind of get back to it.
Here we bounce back a little bit.
Men in Black 2 Alien Escape for PS2. One of the hardest games ever.
This has come up before on maybe Urban Hermit, but Mark and I spent a summer trying to beat this game, but it was impossibly hard. You could only progress with cheat codes, but when you put cheat codes in, they stopped you from saving the game in your progress.
Was this a PlayStation 1 or?
Two, I believe.
Really? I don't remember this game truly at all.
You wouldn't.
Either of them.
Third-person shooter, you just have to strafe and like avoid their plasma guns.
At the end of the movie there, when they are both just like telling that guy to freeze, they have clear shots. They have powerful guns. It's clear that it's like we're out of time. Why didn't they just blast him when he's like, "No, you idiots!" coming out of the ship at the end? Boop, 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 boop. Just light him up. Light him up there. Would have saved 30 minutes of Will Smith yelling, "Hey!"
Nah, we needed the hay.
But
Needed it big time. I wanted it. I still do.
okay, I know the answer. It's a movie and we needed the drama, but it's aggravating that their guns got taken at all from them because they just had so much time
that
to
guy's
shoot him.
dumb. Like, seems like all the aliens are sort of bad at picking their vessels.
The entire time he's
No,
saying,
no-
"I'll put
no
my
athletic-
hands on my head." When he's doing that, just blow him up.
Well, I guess Dennis Rodman, Sylvester Stallone, they picked good bodies.
Yeah. They did. Yep. Some better than others.
Sly,
This
especially.
bad guy just
It's
picked
nice
a
to
fat
know, though,
farmer.
that those aliens really worked on their bodies because Sly's had a lot of changes.
Or sci-fi. You know, we don't know if
That's true. Also, I guess here's animosity. Even though it is at the World's Fair real alien spacecraft, it's been there since the 1960s and probably doesn't fucking work.
Yeah, that's true. There's a
That'd be
reason
the real funny thing. Like, I did all this work to get it in there. And it's like, oh shit, it doesn't work.
Yeah, just no.
Oh no, and then they get exploded.
It just hovers like an inch and slowly tips and falls and crashes.
I don't even know how to explain this part, but once you're covered in goo and Will Smith goes, pah, pah, all the dripping spit goo, love it, love that too. Miss the goo for movies. The fake spits.
Jordan,
What do you
Mr.
think
Magoo
the goo
today.
budget was on this?
Mr. Magoo.
Just throw away
Real
quick
good.
comment, but at the end when Kay's like, you never really look at him and he does the stars thing, you're not seeing a single star in New York. The light pollution's too great. He's looking up at just yellow.
Yeah. Also,
That's
knows
why
what's out there, and it'd be
that's why
scary.
Will Smith's like, what are you
Terrifying.
talking?
A lot of work
what are you
up there.
talking about, Kay? There's nothing up there right now. And on top of that, just this is a bigger animosity. There should be a more official retirement than the rookie deciding how many years to take off of Kay's memory and like maybe.
Here, let me
like,
type this in for you.
Yeah, someone else should be
That's
doing
the first
that.
time he used the neuralizer. Nobody showed him.
Hope I
He was
wiped him.
just around.
Takes a selfie.
I
with
wiped
the
him.
thing.
He's
buttons.
he's a baby man now. My mistake.
Think about anything you've learned at a new job. Like any bit of new software technology. Did it ever go smooth?
Not the first time.
Hey, I
Not the first
killed
few times.
Kay. He's dead. He just kind of started seizuring and he's dead.
Well, you need a new partner anyway.
This was 6.
Oh,
Was
you know
it
who'd make a
9?
real good who'd make a real good MIB agent?
Who's that?
Person Kay's been stalking for 40 years who has no loved ones or families. Just doing all that
for a
gardening
loan.
somewhere.
No,
Look
Jordan,
for
you
the
say
alone.
she has no. You say she has no loved ones or family, but I think she does. I think Kay retires.
Kay did a little zaps. Well, you had a little neuralizer. It's like, she's fine now.
Yeah, I think that's what's going on. I think she had a normal life after that guy like ghosted her on a date like 40 years ago.
Yeah, she never thinks about him.
No.
I know she looked up, but that's not what she was thinking about.
No, she's like, God damn, it's bright today.
Jesus, sunny my
I
back.
have to get into my husband and my kids
now.
now.
Yeah. Oh no, they're all dead. Oh. Oh, you want to know a little tidbit?
A little
You
tip.
definitely wouldn't have seen it if you walked past the two of us, Cameron and myself, but this was a costume we did for Halloween, and it was the last Halloween I dressed up as.
Oh yeah, I did go as MIB with you, didn't you? Yeah.
Yeah, nobody walked past
Hold
us like
on.
maybe Pulp Fiction, but probably not
Hold
either.
on.
We were just extras, you know.
Yeah,
Some
we were just-
MIBs.
I was actually going to Zed.
Yeah, two Zeds.
Cameron thought it was Lethal Weapon.
Like, last Halloween I dressed up for, I was, I think, a 6th grader, and then I'm like, I guess that's it.
Happy to be there for it.
He's got his own lane, Will Smith did, of I'm going to make a hit song for the movie I'm in. I don't know if anybody else has done that. I know, like...
LL Cool J, my head is like a
sorry,
shark's fin.
I'll rephrase it. I'm sure other people have tried, but his was at a success rate. Like, his
Dolly
songs were
Parton.
hit 9 to 5.
Dolly Parton 9 to 5. I was gonna say Will Smith Bad Boys, but that's just Will Smith again.
Keep him coming. Will Smith, I mean, Wild Wild West, the song was bigger than the movie.
We'll wrap it on to recasting, but this is obviously a beloved nostalgic movie from the 90s. Will Smith at his heyday, Tommy Lee Jones hitting on all cylinders. If there's something we left out, make sure you let us know on social media, but we're gonna move on to recasting. Welcome back to recasting. Pretty tight. Let's start it out with Edgar the cockroach. I kind of like mine. It'd be a little later in his career, just so it'd be funnier. But Vince Vaughn.
That'd be a
I
weird
was Jared. That'd be weird.
Give the cockroach a little more room to wiggle around in, though. It's a tall drink
That's a
of
big
water.
guy, but also funny. I just want to see him be a weird, funny guy.
It might be funny.
The physical could be pretty funny from Vince.
I went super big in the physical, and specifically, I just went balls deep. Went Michael Keaton.
Oh.
I mean, let it rip is what I want him to do.
I don't hate that.
Go full Keaton. Go full Beetlejuice. Go full whatever the fuck you want to. But, like, pull him back this, like,
Yeah, that definitely
like, fucking go full Keaton.
that definitely tops mine.
I feel like I went more doppelganger. I went Stephen Baldwin. That's just that just looks like a Baldwin.
Oh, yeah, I get that.
Kind of looks
Stephen
lizardy
Baldwin would be
anyways. So
weird. What a wide variety of choices, though.
you definitely have the physical.
It really
You have
was.
the
For
physical.
such a...
Stephen Baldwin has the look.
Yeah.
You don't have the. I don't have the physical. I think Jordan might have taken that.
Up next, we'll do Zed, the main leader of the MIB. I like mine. Ian McShane, Winston from John Wick.
Oh, I like that.
Did he pass? Oh, yeah, that dude. I like that actor. Mostly
He could
anytime I
definitely do
see
that
him.
role.
Right.
I did more.
That's
like
actually
I did like a Zeus voice, like John Goodman, sort of just.
I
did the
thought
voice.
That works for me too.
I truly just wrote down John Goodman because I didn't cast him, so
Yep.
I'm like kind of a tie.
No, that
with you, so
that
damn.
totally works. I like that one. Up next, let's do Laurel, the Mortician. I just did Kate Beckinsale for nothing in particular. I mean, she's beautiful. She does kind of, Underworld darker. I don't know.
BB Newworth from the faculty of Jumanji.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that works. That totally
that's
flies.
actually great periodically
Is her name
too.
BB?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Go back and listen to our faculty. I'm sure we messed it up there too.
Jordan, what's yours?
Aubrey Plaza. Modern day
I thought
version.
about that.
All right. I thought that there was going to be 3 of those, to be honest.
That was going to be my throwaway one. I think that could be kind of funny.
Ain't nothing says Jordan recasting like somebody's throwaway one.
She probably plays a really down mortician.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot.
Yeah.
No one did Janine Garofalo, but that kind of is the vibe.
Well, I only didn't because I thought that somebody else would. So,
but that also fits there.
yeah, Janine Garofalo seems like, especially for that time person.
Let's move it on to K.
Okay.
I like mine. I do him a lot, but Jeff Bridges.
I thought that for
Gruff voice. It works for me.
sure. Yeah, that works.
It's perfect. Bruce Willis.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that works
Yeah,
too.
like
for sure.
the older
100%.
Bruce Willis would have worked. Yeah, I would
Just straight man. Bruce Willis.
So I did 2 duos together.
Oh.
So can I name
Yeah,
them
just
both?
go ahead.
Okay, so my Gene Hackman is with Eddie Murphy.
Okay, that would work.
Gene Hackman's perfect
Okay.
too.
But I feel like we all kind of did wash. And then do you want me to go to my next one?
Yeah, might as well. Just go.
Yeah,
My
start with
Denzel
Jay.
Washington is with Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, I like that too. That would also work. I think I like the Denzel Ryan Reynolds one. I think better for the modern take.
I think so too. I also think Ryan Reynolds probably plays a fun Jay.
No, actually, those are pretty good. Mark, he
Who's
already
your
did
Jay?
his Jays. I did Kevin Hart. I try to think of someone who's like a physical kind of also comedian, could do the action. He does action.
He could
I mean,
do
so he's doing it now. You know.
I went Mark Wahlberg.
Ooh.
I can maybe see him doing this. Maybe he's trying to take down some aliens.
Younger Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, and,
though,
st-
right?
and still
Obviously.
kind of that baggy undercover cop '90s gear with
Nice.
sideways
You're about
hat.
to get neuralized, brother.
I can see it, I guess. It's hard to top Will Smith in this one. I mean, he's such a good performance. So, I mean,
It's interesting because obviously most leading men are charismatic, but Will Smith during this time was truly the perfect mixture of just straight charisma, but being very funny. And I don't know, just being a star.
that was our recasting this week. Let us know what you think, or if you had anything better. But we're going to move it on to Mount Rushmore, top 4.
Mount Rushmore, top 4.
Mount Rushmore, top 4. This week, we are listing our top 4 movies that we didn't know were based on comic books, much like Men in Black.
Movies we didn't know, not just movies about comic books.
We're not just pulling
movies.
out-
Didn't know.
Mark had
didn't.
X-Man, Superman, Batman.
Spider-Man.
This week, we're going to be doing Jordan, Mark, me. Jordan, what's your unknown comic movie?
Just trickle down before we get to this. Fuck the noisy cricket. They should have warned him about that too. That was a good joke. Love the joke, but fuck this training
Warn him about
MIBs.
the cricket.
Unbelievably dangerous.
It's just hey, it's gonna have some kick, or this is gonna make everything explode.
And the ball
I get
there
it,
will
the
kill
visual
everybody.
joke.
I don't
Yeah,
think there's
just-
a save in the ball. Yeah, didn't tell him about the ball either. Fuck.
So mine, and I truly didn't know this was based on a graphic novel or comic book, whatever you want to call it. It's Road to Perdition. I'm gonna bring this up as many
That's my
chances as I
number one.
get.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be
100%.
yours. I
Completely shocked.
Shocking.
I actually did know that because I watched a lot of the behind the scenes stuff, but it was like an old mobster, 40s one, I think. If I'm
Yeah,
not
it
mistaken.
makes
a
sense. It
noir
looks
kinda
like
thing?
it could have been
Yeah.
anything, but
Yeah,
I think I'd like that. I'd like a comic like that instead of a superhero one.
if you guys get into
I don't know.
comics, let me know one to read. I will. But my choice, and there are a lot in this category, but Road to Perdition movie in general, I think it's underrated.
Tom
especially
Hanks film.
in the
You might
mobster.
know it from Jordan's former Mount Rushmore of best rain scenes in a movie.
Ooh, sneaky! Great rain scene. Great rain scene.
That's
It's a
true.
great category.
Mark, who do you got? Or what do you got?
Okay. So there's a few that I like, but I think I'm going to go with the one that I definitely had no idea. Blue is the warmest color.
Ooh, that seems like it's going to be a racy comic book.
Could be. Could
borderline. What do they call it? Not smut. Yeah, smut.
be. Erotic. Don't say smut. Don't say
All
smut.
right, erotica. Sorry, yeah. Dirty magazine, though, right?
No, but like I know it was a book and a movie. I didn't know it was a comic book though. So that's my pick.
Maybe I will
Okay.
get into comics.
It's not. You don't like the pick? Did you guys know that?
No, I didn't know.
I feel like that's
not at
top
all.
of the list of you had no idea that was a comic.
Not
have-
at all.
If this is the category, I think that
It is, yeah. I had no idea.
I have 4 that genuinely surprised me that are left here that I have to pick between, but I think I'm going to go Kingsman with Egerton, the Secret Service movies. Those are based off a comic series.
So I wasn't sure if they were, and I didn't research, but the way that Samuel L. Jackson plays this character, that made me feel like these have got to be based off something, right?
Yeah, I get comic book, it turns out. And with,
I could see that being a comic book.
and with that, it leads us up to our honorable mentions. The other one on the tip of my tongue, The Mask with Jim Carrey, based off a comic book.
Yeah, there's ones like that kind of don't even dip into the whatever Kingsman superhero
Yeah, like an
Action-y,
action or
violent-y.
superhero.
extraordinary gentleman type stuff, like Richie Rich, The Mask.
Like
Sort of those, like-
Orphan Annie, yeah, some of those older
Annie,
ones that are just,
yep.
yeah, some of that. This was kind of a surprising one too. History
Maybe I
of
should have gone
Violence.
with Annie instead of Blues the Warmest Color. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. History of Violence, that movie with Viggo Mortensen, that hyper violent movie. Apparently
Yeah, that one surprised me too.
Apparently that's based off of it's one
Now,
that
I have a question. Did these run into the graphic novels like it's more of like a book that is just told in the style of comics? Or is it like serial comics that we're dealing with? I don't know the answer.
it's some of these a little bit of both for this category. This was another weird one. Weird Science, the 80s movie.
I did see that one as well, yeah.
It's based off a comic series. I did not know that one.
Mystery Men.
That one almost makes sense just because it
is kind of
Superheroes or whatever.
300.
300,
I remember that.
30 Days a Night. Some of these like horror action kind of ones.
The
Rock-
opposite of this category is The Watchmen. Everybody told me that,
Yeah,
like,
everybody
hey,
knew that.
that finally they made it into a movie.
Here's
Wanted made the list a lot, but I feel like that has comic-y.
that one
Yeah,
feels comic-y,
comic
but
vibes,
if you
yeah.
don't remember, that's the McAvoy bullet bending Angelina Jolie movie.
I feel like the ones we said are surprising because they're not typical comic book genres.
Genres,
Or,
yeah.
or what I know or the general
Right.
population knows.
For instance, From Hell, the Johnny Depp movie based on a comic series.
Tom Cruise's Oblivion.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
that 2009-10 movie.
I like it. It's not good, but I do like it. This is a weird one. The Disney movie The Rocketeer, based off a comic series.
Still haven't seen that.
It's there.
Still haven't seen it.
I fall
That was
asleep
an
to it like one.
all-time preview to some of our one of our other Disney movies. I'm like, swear to God, I'm gonna see that movie. Never have.
Never did.
Never saw it.
We saw this in theaters. Snowpiercer. I think you called it Ice Train. Who's in it? I'm trying to remember the
Chris Evans.
movie.
Now it's a TV show. It's been a TV show for like like a lot. He's not in it, but they made it a TV show, right?
They did. Speaking of TV shows, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, also based off a comic series. Oh, V for Vendetta. We forgot that one. That's a pretty big one.
Yeah, I guess I didn't know that.
If there's any other big movies that are surprise comics, let us know. But thanks for listening to our take on Men in Black. If you like what you heard, make sure you like and subscribe on your favorite podcast app, rate and review. If you want more content, check out the entire Majestic Jam network, Urban Hermit, I'm Not Crazy. And until then, we'll check you on the next one. Bye-bye.